Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 key points for an efficient and beautiful muscle up. The first key point for an efficient muscle up is contrary to the common belief that you need very little swing. It's often believed that more swing is better as you can utilize more momentum. But we are on a level now where we're not talking about momentum anymore. We're talking about efficient, strict muscle ups. And when it comes to efficient and strict muscle ups, we want to go very little in front of the bar with our hips so that we can pull in the point of return or slightly later to achieve a very upright position before we transition into the push phase. Let me show you that. So first, we're going to use a very big swing. And you can see what happens. My body position is very inclined. I have a very big angle towards the floor. What we want though is little swing, boom, and pulling up pretty vertically with just enough swing so that we can pull around the bar and not through it. So when it comes to the key point of an efficient muscle up, the first thing that you need to take a look at is your swing. Don't go with a lot, use as little as possible to really have a very upright position, because the position that you have during the pull phase will define where the force is going, and you want to use all of your force to get over the bar and not behind it. The second key point for an efficient muscle up is the rhythm in which you flex your elbows and extend the shoulder. Basically, the most inefficient muscle up you can do is when you use no arm flexion at all. So you're basically just going to do it like that. That will create the biggest bar distance and the biggest range of motion around the bar. When we're looking at competitive weighted calisthenics, we want to have strict muscle ups, but also efficient muscle ups. So we want to use as little range of motion as possible to maximize additional weight. That means to get the littlest range of motion possible, we want to use as much elbow flexion as early as possible so that we can still go over the bar, but very close in a very small radius. And to achieve this, you want to think of doing the following. You think of arm flexion first, so you basically do that movement, more pull-up like first, and then shortly before the transition, you think of bringing the elbows back. So arm flexion dominant, shoulder extension dominant. Those are the 2 phases. And if you think of arm flexion first, then shoulder extension, the chance is very high that you're achieving a more efficient range of motion. Of course, both movements are happening always at the same time, but that is what I want you to think of. And now let me show you how that looks on the bar. Okay, let me show you the difference on the bar. Now I will think of shoulder extension first and then elbow flexion later. So the way we're not doing it, and you will see what happens with the muscle ups. And this is also what happens to a lot of athletes when they start learning muscle ups. And this is the way that you will have a lot of struggles with when you start loading it up, because you don't make the transition, because the range of motion is too far and the distance to the bar is also too far. So I have very little swing. Key point number 1, we already learned, and I keep that for both techniques. Hope you saw that. What I did is pull down and then arm flexion. And that created a pretty big bar distance for me. If you don't see it, you will probably see it now, because now I'm showing you the correct rhythm. Now I will start to focus on arm flexion first, to go up very vertically and close to the bar with a little radius, and then bring the arms behind my back. And that looks like that. Bit exhausted at the end, but I hope you could see the difference in the executions. So we now covered two very important points for an efficient muscle up. And key point number 3, we are talking about the transition phase. So we now learned that when we're close to the bar, we're bringing the elbows backwards. And the second thing that we're doing is we're compressing the front side. So we're switching the hip into a posterior pelvic tilt, we're tensing the abs, and we are slightly crunching our T-spine above the bar. Because what we don't want to have is our center of mass behind the bar. Because then we're going up, boom, and we can fall back. So what we want is we want to kind of crunch ourselves around the bar. Because then my elbows can go above the bar, my center of mass is balanced above the bar, and I can push up efficient. Why is that important? Because when we're looking at weighted muscle ups, we don't have the acceleration in most cases to just pull all the way through. We need to rely on that balance to be able to push, because the heavier we're getting with weighted muscle ups, the less likely it is that you can just accelerate all the way through. Of course that is possible, but especially for weights closer to your 1 rep max, it is very highly recommended to bring your chest over to be able to push up. And now, as always, let me show you how that looks on the bar. So, key point number 1, little swing. Key point number 2, we're focusing on elbow flexion first, then on shoulder extension. And key point number 3, the moment we're transitioning, we are compressing on the front side. So, little swing, close to the bar, and you see I'm getting tight on the front side. So I'm in a balanced position here, and I can push up. Of course, you can also speed that up, and the system remains the same. So little swing. That was a bit faster, but it still remained the same. I pulled up, kind of crunched myself a bit over the bar, or leaned over the bar, and then I push up. And with those 3 key points, you're gonna have an unstoppable muscle progress. If you're having trouble to improve your muscle ups or to learn your first muscle ups, then of course we can help you with our coaching service. Just check the links in the description, schedule a free consulting call, and we will talk about how we can help you best with our online coaching service. So hope to see you in the call. And if you have questions regarding the video, let me know them in the comments, and hopefully see you in the upcoming videos.